Well, hello there, SPAC friends and family. It is Tuesday, and it's shortly after 2 o'clock here on the West Coast. And you know, it must be time for SPAC Chat. We've got a great SPAC Chat lined up for you today with perfect timing on this topic. So today we are going to be discussing seniors, high school seniors. No, we're not talking about when you schedule them and take their photos. We're talking about right before graduation and all the things that you can offer your school and your parents as add-on items for those seniors. It's a great way to take advantage of excitement, especially when their parents finally find out that their kid is going to be walking the stage and getting a diploma. They go above and beyond to throw great parties, send out announcements, and there's lots of ways that you can add on your businesses to some of the offerings you offer your parents. So we have a couple people from different parts of the area because, again, remember, things are different in different areas and different product lines that we're also going to be talking about. So before our host, Calvin Harrell. Welcome, Calvin, to the show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you are. Corey, you shared something with them, and you spoke specifically to seniors. And while we're talking about seniors at this moment, the real concept of these conversations are to just stimulate the idea process, stimulate the imagination. How can you apply whatever is being explored or whatever is being done in one area by one vendor? How can you apply that to the products and services that you're offering to get an upper hand, to get a gain? So when we talk about, while we're talking about seniors, hey, it could be applied to 8th grade graduations. It could be applied to first communions. It could be whatever the market is. If you can adapt it to your market, you're going to be better off. So we're going to talk to several people that are significant in the senior market. They have a variety of ideas and things that they're doing. These are products that will work for seniors without question, but understand that use your imagination and see where else and what other markets, what other genres of our volume photography market can some of these be parlayed into to generate more revenue with images that have already been created. You know, at the back end, if you could produce it in-house through an automated system, let's talk to Bertie, right? If you can produce it in-house through an automated system, then your margins of profit are significantly greater than what you do when you go out and shoot a job and then have to deliver print products from it. So let's get into it. Let's bring them on stage. Let's get busy, Corey.
Let's go. We're going to start off with Mike because he definitely has an appointment that he needs to go to. But we've got a few different people, and we also have Lloyd and Diana might be showing up later, and Nikki from Hawaii. So if you see them pop up, they're adding too.
So we're talking about people coming from all over the country to share ideas and concepts. So let's get started with Mike. He has a special appointment he has to go to. So I want to get him in here to share what he's doing and what he thinks about this particular concept.
Well, hey, thank you very much for having me on here. And yeah, I'm happy to share. We've got a variety of different things that we do. One of the biggest sellers that we offer is the 3x5 senior sign. So kind of modeled after what you would see in the sports market, but this is a fundraiser that the senior class or the junior class is using. So we'll sell it to the schools at a discounted rate. They'll go ahead and tack on a $25 or $35 per sign fee. And what it does, it takes the graduation photo that we've already taken, slaps it onto the sign, and then they can either have their school, the college logo that they're going to added to it. It can be, hey, we're going to the branch of the military service that they're going to, or it can say the future is yet to be determined. And we have all of these signs sold to the parents, mom and dad, then go to graduation. The signs are hanging up on the field or whatever, wherever you are at the venue. And at the end of graduation, mom and dad rush down and grab the sign off of that fence line and now get to have that in perpetuity from there. So it's a really great way to honor and recognize those kids. Some schools buy them for every single one. Some schools sell them as fundraisers, and only the parents that participate have that. So that's a huge moneymaker for us towards the end of the year where most of our schools are participating. Then you have...
Mike, let me jump in there real quick. You called it a 3x5 sign. It's a banner.
It's a banner, yeah.
On the fence. You're hanging banners, right? Those banners, if those parents are picking up those banners at the end of graduation, you know they're going straight to the party, the graduation party, 100%. And being hung up. So they get dual value, recognition for the kid on site, and then recognition of the guest of honor at their home parties. Let's move it. Thank you, sir.
So, yep, you got it. And then we stepped a couple years ago into grad products. So we were like, why does Jostens have the lock and Herf Jones have the lock on grad products when we can start selling announcements using the photos that we do? So we have an entire line of announcements that are used with our senior photos. We're now selling stoles and cap and gowns. That's probably not a new concept to some people on this call, but it was to us a couple years ago, and it was wildly profitable and very successful. And here in the great state of California, where every single student must be provided one for free, then that means we get to bill the school district for that, so we don't have to worry about tracking people down and doing all these other things. And so we built grad products around all of our pictures that we were taking already. So instead of the t-shirts and the water bottles and all the other junk that Jostens and Herf Jones would create, we would include a bunch of pictures or a bunch of products that include the senior photos, whether it was dog tags or a mouse pad. I mean, the usual tchotchkes, but we made it so that it was all centered around our photos. And that way, then they had to come to us in order to achieve all of what they wanted, as well as their announcements. And we can do 4x5, 5x7, 4x6 announcements, either as photographic or on linen press printed products with envelopes. And so they've got access to all of that. So we do a lot of that, and it's all able to be customized and ordered through Blueprint with us. So Workflow Captura. And so we're able to do that directly to the lab. So we don't have to do a whole heck of a lot of extra work. Then we have senior signs, graduation, actual signs, 18x24 Coro signs that can celebrate either valedictorians, the top 25, or just the fact that they're graduating. Mom and dad will buy those as part of senior packages, and then we'll have those on display out in front of their homes. And then we also do a very brisk business in albums. And so we do a lot of 10 and 20 page albums that ACI produces for us. And so again, we have all of the album layouts done in Workflow Captura, where the mom and dad drag the pictures wherever they want them, and it goes directly to the lab. And 2 weeks later, they're holding their beautiful custom printed albums. We sell a ton of those. And then the last piece is the tassel frames. The tassel frames sell like hotcakes all day long. We do not include the tassel. That was a question that was asked to me the other day online. We have over 100 comprehensive high schools, so I have way too many variations of tassels to try and ask our labs to keep up with. So we make it a point to say, hey, tassel not included, but mom and dad don't care as long as the picture's mounted and it's ready to go and the back of it is easily accessible. To put that tassel in there, they're good to go. We easily sell thousands of those throughout the year in this environment. And so we price ourselves very aggressive. My concept is I'd rather sell to 80% of my customers at a better price point than sell to 25% of my customers at the top of the food chain. So, you know, where our banner fundraiser starts off at $85, where people are like, oh, you could sell it for $150. You're right, but I'd only have 30 kids participate. I want to see 400 of them on that fence, and ordering them at the scale that we're ordering them, the profit margins are just fine because we figured out how to automate. And I'll throw a nod over to my friend Bertie over there. He is one of the driving forces for us to continue to automate. Every time I see him post how he's made his life easier with the things that he does, and we have an internal conversation in our company, like, how do we do it that way? And we're not as smart as Bertie, so it's never going to be the same, but it definitely leads us down a pathway to not have to work as hard the way we used to. So everything that we do is now got a software component that automates every aspect of what we're doing. So it's really easy to crank out 400 of these without having to bat an eye using our software solution. So, you know, for us, it's a really good time of year for all of these things. We know we can guesstimate within probably $10,000 what we are going to make over the course of the spring based on how many seniors we photographed. And we're very fortunate this year. I think we are just a tick under 40,000 contract seniors this year. So there's a lot of work to be done, and lots of opportunity for those of you that are looking for ways to expand. I think there's a lot of really great products that can be thrown out there into the marketplace for you.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that you were speaking of, all of these, you're providing photographic images, senior portrait images on the various items. Do you find anything? Have you been able to track? Is there any diminishing sale on the normal flat sheet print product as for those that are partaking of the grad packages that you're speaking to at the end of the year?
No, and in fact, we have parents that come back to the trough 2 and 3 times throughout the year. So we photograph starting in June. So in a couple of months, we'll start the class of 26. Parents will order from June all the way through January, February for their basic needs. Ahead of Christmas time is good for the gifts for mom and dad, grandpa, grandma, aunts and uncles, and then the things that they need for graduation. So it's kind of like a wedding event. You've got, we need to have all of this stuff done for the wedding. It's kind of the way people view graduation out here. So we need to have the announcements. We need to have the larger picture for a sign that we're going to put up. We need the banner. We need all of these various functions. And so we use various modes of marketing to get those ideas in front of our customers so that we can sell them more than one time. It was 6 or 7 years ago that we only had one opportunity to sell to these people when they walked into our studio. Now with online texting and email marketing, we have the ability to continue to push messaging in front of them until they either just get tired of us, which they do, or they buy something. And so, people will tell me, Mike, man, you sent me too many emails, and I'll tell them, you know how to get off that list? Buy something, and then you won't get on the I didn't buy anything list, and you will stop getting those emails. But it works good, and I think the underlying thing is to really get a good feel for what is going on in your market, what the people and the trends are around you. Digital files are a big deal. We're selling groups of digital files, 5, 10, 15, and 20 groups, the most ever. And that is obviously it's good for our business to be able to have access to those people. We sell them for a really good margin, and we're very happy with those sales. And they're not cannibalizing our print stuff because year over year, our labs are still saying, we got a phone call from one of our labs that said, hey, you're up 27% year over year. So with all of the digital sales and the other places that we're going to get things done, our labs are still being supported by us in a meaningful way without drastic price rises to account for that increase. And so people still want the stuff. And as long as you're doing it right, as long as you're creating great images, you're producing great lighting and composition, we're still better than the average person in an iPhone, right? And that's the goal, is to make sure that we stand out and we provide them a product that they can't get from somewhere else. The moment that it becomes too close to what they can do, now they've got a question. Why am I going to spend this amount of money with you when I can do it myself? And so we got to keep pushing that envelope to make sure that we're the best.
Outstanding. Mike, we appreciate your time. You got an appointment. I don't know what it's for. Right. It doesn't matter what it's for. You got an appointment.
I gotta make this face beautiful. That's what I gotta go do. I'm not as good looking as Bertie.
You're going to a spa day. Go on, have fun. Take care, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. You're welcome.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Hey, Lenora. Yeah. How are you, dear?
I'm good. How are you guys?
It is good to see you. Let's talk about what you got in the background there. You got some stuff.
I don't have your fancy background over there. So
that's okay. No, Bertie flew in from New Jersey. He's here in California now with Corey and I.
Well, these are some of our yard signs that we do, the senior yard signs. I'm going to move out of the way. We do them for all the high schools. The parents can order them right online when they're ordering for their graduation for the banners. And we even make matching shirts. Now, these are all from Signs 365. Another idea that we do is our graduation fans. And we also have them. Oh, I thought you brought one over for me. We also have them for the 8th graders and kindergartners. So the photo can go right there, and it's a little fan that the parents can hold. Another thing we do is the cutout fans for the sports. So they can have these, and these are generic. So they can be sold, or the school can sell these as a moneymaker for seniors. So we do them for all the sports. We also have the smaller versions of these in magnets. Another big seller for us is the locker magnets. And so we have these, which are the class for their senior days. This is also something we started for their college signing, when they do their signing days, where they'll sign. These sit in front of the tables where the kids are signing for the colleges, and then they get to take those home. So what else?
And who's paying for those?
These are done by the high school. High
Those
school
are coming out of high
orders.
school.
Yep.
Okay.
And everything else, the fans, the yard signs. Now we did have yard signs for the class of 2029. The high school bought 200 of those right off the bat. They're already gone and out of here. And we have them for districts. Now we also sell to just districts on yard signs, and they go from just being the Warriors district from 2029 all the way to seniors right now. And so the district, the parents buy them and they all pick them up here at our studio. The nice thing is they're also, once they stop in at the studio, they're seeing all the other goodies we have available to them. So I like it when they're coming here to pick up. We have also something too. I know this isn't really seniors, but it does. This goes to our athletic directors, and it talks about everything we can do for them. Magnets, fundraisers, signs for the bowling leagues. They'll put these up in the bowling alleys. So, we kind of take care of all that. And I don't know, I keep coming up with stuff. Everybody asks me how I keep coming up with stuff, and I do.
Just keep imagining. I saw you rolling around SPAC with a big basket full of stuff. Hey, what do you find to be the pricey? Is there some elasticity in the price? What are the price points that you're going for with the various products?
All our yard signs are $39.
Okay.
And they are 22 by 22. Our t-shirts sell for $39 to $49. If it's double-sided, we do $49. If it's single-sided, it's $39. Again, those are signs 365, and the nice thing is those are one-ups. So we have them on display. I have every one of those in the studio to match the yard sign that matches. So a parent can walk in and she can feel and see it when she's picking up the yard signs. Pretty much, and then these little table things have an easel on the back. They just came in today. They have an easel on the back, and these sell for $25. So,
amazing.
Got it.
Yeah,
and it's not, there's not quantity based or anything of that nature in that. It's just one-offs. If they want one, you give them one.
Well, and the nice thing is I get them from signs. So I load my 48 by 96 board with anything that's coming in, big heads, bobbles. Like there's a bobble back here. That was pretty popular. These are our bobbles, the full body bobbles. Yards, the new head, these were there. And so if I have a couple of those ordered, or if I have other things ordered, they all go onto one sheet and they all come in within 2 days. So
Amazing.
Fantastic. That works. Anything else you got for us?
Don't I have enough?
Yeah. No, you've got creativity. We're just looking to find out if you got something you're holding back.
But no, we also, like I said, I don't know if my husband brought this over. Can you get me the one that's kindergarten, the red one? We also did this for kindergartners too, and the parents like this because it's small.
Yeah.
He's going to get me the other one on that. We also do the shirts for kindergartners and preschools bring the preschool shirt too, Jay. The little white shirt, the little shirt with the alphabet.
Meanwhile, can I ask you a question about the magnets?
Sure.
Do you also do those? Oh, beautiful.
Science 365.
Yep.
Magnets as well, right? Okay.
Magnets,
And they cut magnets, don't they?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can either do a full sheet. Now, when I do our magnets, like this was done for, this is an after prom party magnet. And this is as small as they'll go, 5 by 5s.
Mm-hmm.
But, these are actually 3 by 3s. And they'll cut it out, and then I get them that way. Or you can get them on a sheet, and they can be cut. So they pretty much go by square inch.
Yes.
Yeah. Per square. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. That's good information.
Yeah.
It just gives us more ideas. How can our product be used? But more importantly, because if we look at it, you're not putting individual pictures. You're actually, there's a few items, but you're actually doing generic school-wide or sport-wide or otherwise, which certainly is it lends itself to, and with those price points, it lends itself to huge margins.
Yeah, this is also from Signs. This is their acrylic.
Yeah.
And we did these. I test ran this. I'm looking at an easel now for these. But again, this is per inch. And then another big seller for us is our mugs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, you heard me.
Okay, she's a Chotsky lady. We know who she is. Thank you so much for sharing what you've got going out there.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. And Science 365 is your go-to, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of us that are very pleased with the services that they provide.
And they
All right.
They're looking at next year to come to the 71.
Absolutely.
Yep.
They made it. Didn't they make it to ours, the 70th?
Yep.
They made it to the 70th.
That was the only time they've ever been there. Yeah.
I would like to see them, it's a user interface. I would like to see them build a select all and load in. It's the same damn product.
They have it already.
No, not for handhelds.
Oh, well, you could do it, but yeah, they have it for the banners now. Select all.
Right. Banners is good, but the handhelds, they don't have it. I'd like them to roll that into the handhelds as well. But that's their company. We don't get to dictate.
But see, I can call them because I'm on the alpha team now. I used to be the beta when it was T-shirts, and now that we've introduced the T-shirts, now I'm on to alpha team, so I get to really talk to them.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, Bertie, let's talk, man, because you tease us all, you give us challenges, you present information. Corey has something to say.
I have Bertie's video ready to roll. Do you want me to start that before we roll into Bertie, or do you want to do it at the end of you talking to Bertie?
Let's roll it.
We can roll it.
Okay, let's roll.
You're playing director and shut me down, so I guess we can roll it. What the hell?
Okay.
Let's take the pictures here at our booth. Here. Over here.
Okay.
There we have it. So that is the setup. Bertie, explain to us what we just saw.
So I want to, before I explain what was going on there, I want to focus on a maybe little known truth to most of us. Every single school in America gets federal money for their graduation and their graduating class. And then I lost you for a second?
Nope, you're here. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Calvin's camera disconnected.
Oh, okay. So every school in America gets federal money specifically designated for graduating class. And then every school district allocates to the high school and middle school certain dollar amount to spend it on graduation. So a few years back, and we're talking COVID, when there were no graduations, they had an issue. They needed to spend this money and they didn't know how, or they didn't know what to do with it. So that's where it came. Now it's a mainstream, the art science. But every single year, all of the schools that I do, their graduations, they will allocate a certain dollar amount for us to go in, set up a red carpet now, where all the parents after the graduation or before the graduation, or the families, they do come and have their red carpet picture taken in front of us. So that covers a basic dollar amount, I would say, to pay the staff. Then I decided to come with a little, being an outsider, not going to high school here in America, it always blew my mind how people are going crazy over high school graduation here in the States. And I wanted some product that was not a tchotchke, was not bulky, was something simple to sell, and obviously at something that I had control on producing it versus relying on an outsourcing vendor, printer, or whatsoever. Although we have many, many great vendors. On the volumes that I do, those posters that I'm about to show, the most affordable vendor, which is Science 365, it's 10 times the cost I have to do it in-house. So I came up with this idea of the graduation posters only because I noticed where on graduation day there are all these vendors who are selling gifts and tchotchkes, which are, evolving around the graduation. They're graduation teddy bears and whatnot. And I noticed that the emotions are always high on parents. And some of the parents are even they're buying because they're feeling guilty they didn't buy anything for their senior, as a gift. So the first trial we did was 4 years ago when the school said, you only have 45 minutes to do this. And it was a 325 kids graduating class. It was a middle school. So there was no math for us to really crunch it and think it through how we can make it that everybody in 15 seconds comes in and out. Long story short, we gave it a shot. I did my best to leverage. At that time was not as advanced as it's now, but I was able to obtain some footage, about an hour footage of the previous graduation, where we actually had a camera recording the graduation to look at the traffic patterns, because this is a crowd control situation where if you want to have as many parents as you need on graduation day to come and stop at your table and only spending an average 15 seconds from the minute they approach to the minute they give you the dollars, we needed to understand where would be the best location to put ourselves on. Long story short, using AI, we're able to determine not only where we should be setting up, how we're placing all these trays, where we're putting all of those names in a way that is not going to create a long line of people waiting. And I'm not afraid to say graduation day is one of our most profitable picture days, period, on what we do, because we have almost a 90% sellout rate on all those posters. So Corey, I'm going to show, I don't know if I can, the actual poster. Share screen.
Corey, does he have sharing privileges?
Or can you? So the first slide
I
has.
do have it ready as well.
The first slide. All right, give me a second. Let's see. Okay, Google Chrome wants to. All right, so. All right. So, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Negative.
I don't know. Hold on. Present.
I'm working on it too, Bertie.
Let's see. Share.
Hey, Bertie, while you're doing that, if you can multitask.
Okay.
What are you finding to be the price point target? Because I would think that you're pretty consistent across the board for all your schools. So what, because the transaction time is incorporated in that 15 to 20 seconds.
Correct.
So it's got to be something that's very fast.
So we do sell, we started selling them at $30, and we noticed that the $30 at that time we're only doing cash and carry. There were no credit cards, no, just. Then we noticed that the $30 was a much more harder amount combining versus 220s.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to go $40. And we stayed at $40 across the board for middle school graduations and high school graduations. On the kindergartners, we have a few of those kindergarten small classes, 100, 150 kids. We are $20.
Okay.
The idea is that we only focused on how we're going to make this product a lot more emotional and much more impactful. So in the past 2 years, we are now doing face recognition, where our own web application is going to go and scrape all of our archives to find the matching faces of the graduating kids. And then it's going to put them in this layout that you're seeing, hopefully you're seeing on the screen, to make it like a timeline product.
All right, you got in my ear, but what is a timeline product?
So if you look,
I've seen it. It's across the bottom. The individual child from multi-years of photography is incorporated onto the same image. So it's processor time more than labor.
Correct.
Okay.
Bertie, are these posters or these 12 by 18?
These are 12 by 18 posters that we print in-house.
And how many do you make of each kid? Just one?
We only do one.
Okay. It looked like there were multiples in those boxes that you had on the table. That's why I was wondering.
Yes. No. Every kid gets one. When they get this poster on the back, there is a QR code they can reorder. Typically, we'll have maybe 5 to 10% reorders after the fact. It's not a big traction after, but on the day off, these are selling like a hotcake, only because I think we're able to get them fast in front of us and walk away with it. People share a lot of interest in this product on the graduation day. The only problem that becomes real is how fast can you sell it to them. So we now implement a system of numbering the posters and the trays. So parents receive a text from us the day of graduation that if you notice on the top bottom corner, there is a number, which is the poster number. And they'll get a text saying, hey, your child's poster is tray 4, poster 18. So even when they walk in, either they can prepaid on that text, use the link, or even when they walk in, they go straight to the tray, and whoever is manning that section of the tent is given a poster number and a tray number and just drags it and walks away.
Hey, Bertie, what percentage of your clients on that graduation distribution are cash compared to card?
Unfortunately, it's the amount of people paying cash is getting smaller and smaller. I was stupid enough that in the first trial of this, I refused to take any other payment other than cash, thinking that accepting cards and doing that would be a little iffy. Time-wise. Now we use cash, Zelle, Apple Pay, Google Pay, contactless. So they walk in, they get the poster, tap 2 phones on top of each other, they walk away. And it just made it a lot faster.
Well, what was interesting was when you made the modification to go from $30 to $40, 220s come out of an ATM real easy. And so I would think that there'd be an increase in the number of transactions just simply as a result of the convenience of two $20 bills.
Correct.
Also, I would think that at the graduation, because you're doing this there, both Mike and Laura are doing theirs in advance. Lenora, I'm sorry, are doing theirs in advance of the picture day. Auntie gets to buy these, grandma gets to buy these, or anybody else in the family that's got a $40 credit card or $40 can walk in and buy it. So that's very interesting. Did you embellish the packaging at all for that 30% increase? In other words, you went from 30 to 40. Did you change the packaging at all, add anything to it, or
No,
just simply the package became $40 and that's what we offer?
Yes, that was it. And it's amazing because there will be, I would have parents who I only know they complained about a $40 8x10 that they wanted to buy for a senior picture. They would just buy it in a heartbeat because also the peer pressure happening there, like looking all those parents with these posters around. It just makes it, and I hate to say it because I don't like the word praying, but we're leveraging the emotional state of people at that very same day. And I want their money. I think we've built a great product and simple to carry.
Bertie, I have a question.
It's interesting because the peer pressure emotional moment was a key catalyst in the late 90s for us, throughout the 90s for us, prior to the advent of the cell phones for proms. And $100 package was almost an average, from 90% of the kids that came to the prom. And we made 7 digits at the time off of those $100 packages.
Amazing.
For prom season. Life has changed a lot. You've come up with another product that sells impulse to the people that have the money and they can't use a cell phone to get what you've given them.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Corey, go ahead.
I just was going to ask Bertie about the t-shirt this mom is wearing. Do you do t-shirts as well, Bertie?
We thought about it. There is a ton of competition. If you notice, it's funny because this mom is wearing a t-shirt and her senior picture is on the number 0. It is our picture. She never bought a digital. She just took it from the print she bought and she put it on a t-shirt.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I was just curious. Some people
And again, there are plenty of people in my area who do one-offs like t-shirts, and I just felt that I need to focus on where I'm uncompetable. Like there's no competition for me to come with those posters right there. So it was not something that I wanted to pursue.
It's all about knowing what's going on in your market, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's knowing about your market, but also are you going to be able to run volume? What I observe, Bertie's created a ecosystem where he's the manufacturer of the goods and he's in total control, and it's all flat sheet material. Whereas when you move into t-shirts or other products, the acrylics and all of that, those are one-offs, and it's a degree of customization and individualization and handling every single one for production purposes. So Bertie is doing something that's a bulk order. Hey, I need, there's 300 kids, there's 312 by 18s or 13 19s that will trim, and it'll be printed in 15 minutes. We're done. So I do get it.
The thing is, Calvin, that aside from the volume, we have to understand what is really what is most important to us. With this product, I wanted also to have a better foundation in the market because this is a legacy product in the sense that many schools continue to work with me because I have an archive worth of now 10 years of pictures. and because of that, there is now this is the fourth year that we're going to be doing this summer. This now it's a tradition, and some of the schools actually, it's funny because one school said, "We're going to buy it in bulk from you. We still want you to sell it for us." Because we want to fundraise for the
Right.
for the 2026.
We want to recover the money. We guarantee you the money, but we want to recover it. So you do the sales and rebate us.
Yeah. So they said, we're gonna give you full value, $40 a poster. We want you to still sell it for $40, but now this money that we're paying you for this is coming from a different budget item. While the money you're going to rebate to us, we have the freedom to do what we need to do.
Yes, sir. They're businessmen too. Some of them.
They didn't budge or let's discount this because we're buying in bulk and all that stuff, But they said, "Can you commit to do this for us?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "I'd be happy to do it moving forward." So that's another way to look at it.
Absolutely.
And we don't do we only have probably 13 schools that we go and do this every year.
Yeah, but if you're doing a 90% sales rate at $40 a pop, you're actually generating more revenue on those days for the time work than you do on school picture day. I mean, the math is real simple.
Wholeheartedly agree.
The math is real simple. In fact, can we come and do that business for you? You shoot the pictures and let us do that part.
Everybody's welcome.
So I noticed one of those images had a group picture on it of the middle school, I think it was, or an 8th grade, and they were all in cap and gown. Am I to presume that was done prior to the graduation on graduation day, or is that done in a rehearsal environment?
No, that's a PixNub AZ team builder file, because we individually photographed them in January and February for their cap and gown pictures, and now that's artwork already sitting on the web application to be rendered. So,
are you also photographing the graduating seniors? The one on the right, I see the school is used as their emblem, which looks good. But are you also photographing the cap and gowns for them in January?
Yes.
Okay, so you're holding off. You're shooting only traditional and, or shall I say, yearbook style or personal style images in the fall.
Correct.
Holding back and shooting the cap and gown in January, splitting up the sale process so people don't perceive that they're buying as much as they're actually buying, because the bill is not as high for each session.
No, the seniors, we just continue to do the contract, work. When we either we start photographing in end of June, the 2026 class, and we started at the studio. Then in some of the schools, we go and they do their pictures. We still photograph their cap and gowns when they do the session. One shot is specifically, one pose is specifically for the poster. They don't get to see this product on their online buying experience.
Oh, how much feedback do you get on that?
Oh, wow.
I took the pictures. I want to see my pictures. I want to buy them all. I want to just take care of this.
Well, they see their pictures, but they don't see the poster as a product or as an option to buy.
Okay, so they do see the cap and gown that you take in the fall.
Correct.
All right.
It's a regular head and shoulder picture.
Right.
They're always for this. They're shot on 3/4 pose, which is specifically designed for the poster.
Yes.
So.
And I saw the pose you had there was specific to it.
Yeah, we want to impact them on the day of graduation. That's the.
All right. So, as I started out in introducing this, I said we have to use our imaginations to see what other markets might such products work in. What thoughts do you have,
Calvin? If I'm sorry to say, and I don't want to sound blunt, but if the stupid teddy bear graduation tchotchke has worked for so many years in this country, I do believe this poster will work everywhere. There is a graduation going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's my belief. I've heard many of our colleagues say, "Well, I don't know if this can work in my schools, or I don't know if I'm allowed to do this at the graduation, because whatevs. I always approach it with, have you ever asked about this? And what did they tell you? Well, so, or I hear, oh, my schools, they only have 30 minutes to clear the venue. And I'm like, okay, you can set up on your parking lot. Like it's just simple as that. You're not bothering the flow or the next graduation for that matter.
Well, and then the question has to be, is 30 minutes based on what? They need to be out of the stadium because another graduation is coming,
Yeah.
or whatever it might be. At the end of the day, if it's 30 minutes and it costs you another $150, $200 to be up for another hour, again at $40 at a 90% sales rate,
yeah,
pay the money and you rent the damn space so that you can stay set up and make money.
Yes,
we have this aversion to thinking. I'm of the philosophy, commissions being paid or not being paid, or what should I do? You have to look at your own markets, but you have to understand the school. You're using school facilities, school electricity, school. The janitor has to clean the space, clear the space, unset up a classroom or reset up, move stuff around. There are people involved in that process. And no different than you going to the mechanic for your car. When there's people involved in the process, it's $175 to $250 an hour, depending on your car model. So why would we think that we should not be paying for those services because we're being so good to a school by offering to sell them pictures? It's a ludicrous concept. No, they have the right to, and nobody would be able to come into any of our offices, offer products for sale to the consumers that we have coming in, and not give us a piece of the action. Wet my beak, please. Wet my beak. Y'all need to start watching the mafia movies. They teach you a whole lot about business. Wet my beak, okay? I got to get a little taste of this. So you can tell I'm a Godfather fan. So what you've done is very good. It's unique, and it has applications everywhere. The beauty of it, for me, in my mind's eye, is the ability to do it offline without one-on-one handling. It can be done offshore. You can have anybody do the work putting it together, et cetera, et cetera. So there's nothing but an upside to all of those.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Bertie, I thank you.
I'm going to jump in and tell you, Bertie, I'm a mom. I have been there, super excited on graduation day. And let me tell you, that's why there are people there with bouquets of flowers and selling leis, because they know that emotional buy is right there. Yeah. And if you already have it done sitting there, I always say, show me a great picture of my kid and I'm going to buy it.
Corey, I'll give you a little last year curiosity. There were 70 seniors who, for whatever reason, they never made to an appointment to have their picture taken or any of that sort. The yearbook teacher decided to photograph them with her phone. Okay. And yes, it's a high school. I'm not going to say name, but regardless. Mm-hmm. So she sends me the pictures she took because I still had to put it in the background and crop it for the yearbook. But I asked her, do you mind, taking their picture for, in a cap and gown? She said, yeah, I don't mind that. I have all the time I need. So once she gets me that, I said, do you mind if I put this on a poster and sell it? And it was a really horrible, I was not proud of selling that picture, right? But I still printed that picture on the same poster. All of those pictures were sold. And I'm convinced, as a rare breed we are, as creatives and photographers, we are prone to creating our own problems only in our imagination. Like I'll quote Mark Hood, a great friend of mine, saying, "Don't create fears; they don't exist." Or the only fears we have are the ones here in our brain. And most of us were afraid to ask, we're afraid to execute. And look, it's okay to fail. Like it's, as long as you're upfront with the school, communicate clearly what are your intentions, how you plan doing this, and how you're not interfering with the school graduation day. I don't see it. Why not? Because even at $1, $1 poster, think of it. If you send this to Science 365, it's going to be $1 per poster. And yes, you're paying upfront 300 posters, $300. Now think of, I wouldn't say $40, maybe because I'm crazy and I like money more, but think of $30 a poster.
9 G's. If you're not willing to spend $300 with the potential of 9 G's, how about just going to 4,500? 300 to 4,500. It makes no sense not to. We do create our own problems between our ears. When somebody says, I don't know if they'll let me do that, I don't know if I can do that, etc. Well, write it down in your next agreement, and it says on here that you're going to do graduation pictures, you're going to deliver on graduation day. Let them read it or don't read it. At the end of the day, oh no, we agreed to that, and keep it moving. Yeah. So I'm on the same page as you, man. We stop being fearful of being successful. The other piece that I've said, and I think, Corey, you've probably heard me if others haven't, and that is the mistakes we make and the losses we take are the cost of an education.
True.
We don't recognize that. We can write a check for, $50,000 a year for our kid to go to a private college, or not, or 10 grand for a state college, whatever it might be. But we write that check for what's called an education. Why is it that we don't think that we have to pay for our education as ongoing businessmen or business people in an environment that's continuing to evolve and change? And at this time, it's exponentially changing.
Yeah.
We have to understand that at a core level, and it gives value to, here you go to plug, Corey, it gives value to the SPAC conference model that we've established and how it works. It's a low cost investment that has returns that are unbelievable. And when somebody says, I can't afford to go because I have one job, find somebody else to do the job for you. Get your butt to SPAC, because you will make far more next year probably on that one job, but on the other jobs that you're going to do based on what you learn from the membership or the attendees at our SPAC conference. So thank you for validating it more and more and more. All right, Corey, I think we're good to go. I think this has been a great discussion. I truly, I enjoyed it. It's been a great discussion. Lenora, we really appreciate you getting on board. And I appreciated you when you stood there and showed me your kit. You brought a whole basket, a rolling cart there to the conference, and it was like, whoa.
Well, we drove from Ohio. By the time we were done and got home, we had, I think my husband said 5,200 miles on the car.
Wow.
So yeah, because we went from SPAC to PPA. So yep. So
that's all right. It worked. Hey, we were gonna have Lloyd with what's the name of the company, Corey?
Frames for Portraits, and Lloyd and Diana are the representatives, and Diana at WPPI right now.
Right, they're at WPPI. They were coming on board to share with us information about the frames, and especially tassel frames. And the tassel frames sell extremely well. It is a more of a high ticket item compared to some of this. There's certainly significant initial investment that's required when you're talking a frame, a tassel frame, as it compares to any of the products that we've been talking about so far. But tassel frames are a significant seller in the marketplace for seniors, especially. So,
can I just add 2 seconds to something?
Always.
What we do is we do this in the fall. Is when we have our banners ordered and everything like that, parents will buy all these extra things at the time. So the very first game that the football team has, we set up a table at that game. And of course, all the big heads that were ordered are sitting there at that table. And the parents go, oh, can I order one? we walk away with so many orders just from having that there for pickup.
Right. That's right.
And we sell our blingers that night too. So they're always seeing it. They're always expecting it from us. So
very good. You're in your market that's working well, and for your volume.
Yeah.
It gets to be a challenge when you have, if you're doing 50 or 80 or 100 schools,
right.
It gets to be a big challenge. But
and see, we only do senior banners. That's all we do.
Okay.
So we can go to.
So we're not talking about the whole sports team. It's just seniors only on any.
Yeah. And what Bertie was talking about, having that at graduation, we're not allowed to have that here. There is nobody selling at graduation things here.
No vendors allowed?
No vendors.
Okay.
You have to make sure where you are, what state you're in, if you're allowed to do it or if the school allows it. But I know in our area, Ohio, you can't do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Like we always say, there's not one right way to do it. There are many ways to do it, and it all depends on your market and your clients.
Yep.
And it also depends on your connections and who you know. If the principal says, I'd like to do this, and he's in contact with a board member, and the board member says, hey, they need to do that, and there's some benefit that they see derived from it, the benefit first year out might be high. The second year is going to drop way down. So you can stair step it to do an introduction and see how that works. So this is a game like everything else. We see politics, and as we see on a national level, it's a game. You just got to keep up with the players and what's going down. It is what it is. So moving forward, I think that we all have some good ideas to carry forth. If not for this year, we can build out and test the market this year and then look at it as a primary function or a specific function for us for next year. So this has been very valuable. Thank you, Corey, for your effort in putting it together and bringing these fine folks to the table. What announcements do you have, Miss Corey?
Thank you. I just want to remind everybody out there that our seniors, our Young Creative Scholarship for high school seniors is open. We've already received over 40 applications. But this is a great way of sharing that news with your schools, even the schools you don't photograph. It's a great opportunity. All of that information is on the website as well, including downloadable print materials where you can add your own logo and then drop off a poster at a school. So I wanted to let everybody know that information is coming or is there. The information that is coming is going to be speaker proposals. That will open up in May. So that'll be the next big announcement that we have. But we are very excited about offering another aggressive and informative education platform at SPAC. And besides that, Calvin, we have a couple vendors who are doing some summer trainings and meetings, such as Captura, and I know Got Photo is having one. I know that Jay Boatwright is doing a boot camp again this summer. So there are opportunities for education out there, but we really want you to make sure that you put January on your calendar because that is the most comprehensive overall education, hands down, of any high volume school and sports photography conference.
I can't disagree with you, dear. So, folks, thanks a lot for joining us for this week's edition of SPAC Chat. We certainly hope that you got some ideas, some stimulation, because that's what this is about. Some ideas that can be parlayed into increasing your sales and revenue using the existing images that you have. You know, eggs on the shelf aren't very good. They're good when they go into a cake. Make another cake, sell the cake. Cakes cost a lot now, too. Have you noticed? You guys have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful one.
I'm going to do a little quick shout out to Marcel and Jesse and Jason for watching the broadcast today.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you doing that.
Hey, don't forget about Bill. Bill, don't forget about Bill Ripcho and
Bill Ripcho. I was just about to say Bill. All of our videos and all of our SPAC chats are stored on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. So if you missed a broadcast or you're looking for a specific subject, make sure you look at past videos as well. Other than that, Calvin, we wrapped up another week.
We're good. Thanks a lot, you guys, for joining us. Hey, folks, have a wonderful week. Be successful. Keep hunting. There's huge opportunities right now.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of dissatisfaction in the marketplace. You just got to find where it is. Find the weak spot, attack it. It's a game. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.